Lock in, listen up. Hot news in the real estate market today. So the Federal Housing Finance Agency just passed a new regulation. So if you're not familiar with who the FHFA is, they are the regulating government agency of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And what they just passed and what they just opened up is they now allow underwriters to use Vantage 4.0 as a credit rating. Okay, so instead of I shouldn't say it's a credit rating, that's inaccurate. But what it is it's a history of, good faith payment would be the best explanation for it. So what it is based off of, it's not based off of your traditional My FICO score or FICO score. You may have heard either one of those terms, but it's not based off of that. What it's based off of is things like rent history. It's based off of utility payment history. It's based off of even telecom payment history. So it is a broader scope of payments that you could not have ever owned a credit card or any sort of credit and still be able to qualify in the underwriting for a purchase of a home and to be able to lend on a home. Where that is massively important in today's market is it'll bring 5 million new buyers potentially to the market, increasing the demand on the market. So again, this just continues to add to the idea of them trying to get the market moving, get things going, right? So increased demand would, of course, create lower supply, which would increase prices. So that is a possible second and third order effect of this. One other note that they mentioned whenever this came out was that the VantageScore was actually a better indicator of whether or not someone would default on a loan. It found that the people that were able to pass the VantageScore were more likely to be trustworthy and continue to make payments over time than the traditional FICO score. There's even talks about them phasing out the FICO score altogether in 2026. That would be very interesting, and we'll definitely keep in touch on that and see what that looks like, because that's been the marker for a very long time now. It could create new competition in the field for payment history and good faith and finding out whether or not someone's reliable and not going to default on a loan. So it'd be very interesting what's going to happen and what the second and third order effects are of passing this, or potentially FICO scores not becoming no longer the leading competitive staple in the lending industry. So there's a whole lot going on, but we're going to keep it here and just want to get this news out to those buyers that potentially would be falling into that category where maybe they don't have a credit report, or maybe their credit report is not great. Now, one thing to note on this is they will pull both, and they'll use whichever number is low. So anyways, that's just something to think about. If you are someone like that, if you're someone who hasn't had credit, who has just been a renter, who's just had utilities, who's just had a cell phone bill, contact me. Let me know. We can now find an underwriter for you to go purchase a home. Do me a favor. If anyone has heard about this, comment in the comment section more information if you have it. If you haven't heard about it, go ahead and like this video, share it on your page, get the news out there. There might be a friend or family member who didn't think they qualified for being a homeowner that now does. And if you found this information helpful, put it in the comment section below saying, hey, appreciate all this, and that you're awesome, Keith. I always appreciate hearing that. But yeah, so do me a favor, just get this information out there, because we want to create as many home buyers as possible to help them to grow their personal wealth and to help them get into what their goal and their dream home would be. I appreciate everyone here on the channel. Thanks again, and we will continue to make videos like this to get information about how and what's going to happen in the market in the future. Y'all have a great day.